So this post says, may I never be this desperate.
For money.
And for those who can't see, this is referencing to minorities.
Being a part of ICE.
And specifically, this black woman here, in the comments, they are
Tearing her ass up.
Oh, him too. It's Tobias Will looking at. Okay, back to my lady right here.
You guys are fucking sickening, right? You are mad that she has a very good job working for the government. You guys are sitting
On your couches.
Commenting your bullshit when you barely fucking make above minimum wage.
But if she was a stripper,
or OnlyFans model, you'll be applauding her, talking about you go girl, empowerment, this, that, and the third.
when she's actually degrading herself,
And this is supposed to be worse? The world is fucking upside down.
Mind you, I've heard people on the left, right, have called ICE agents, minority, black ICE agents, the N-word, right? I have video proof of liberals, white people, right, probably some not white people, but white people, calling black ICE agents the N-word. And this is supposedly the party of minorities? Sounds counterintuitive. Sounds hypocritical, doesn't? I have videos of liberals beating on women, right? The party of women, right there, right? Video proof of the hypocrisy. So, are they actually the party of minorities when they can be just as racist, if not more? Are they the party of women, or when they can be just as sexist, if not more sexist? This is why we have to question, the affiliations, right? We have to question it. We have to honestly critical think, be able to critically think, and question the party, question, everything. Don't just jump on the bandwagon. Don't just, copy a trend, really. So I just think it's ridiculous that anyone votes Democrat. Anyone could be part of the left. Anyone could be a liberal. I mean, you're better off being center.
Racists have gotten way too fucking comfortable online and in real life.
Yo, this you?
Do not give a fuck if white people go extinct.
Really need to talk about the fact that most white people are just modern day colonizers.
It's gonna get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture.
I made a video talking about how I feel unsafe around white men.
You are the definition of what you hate. Also,
I have been the subject of a number of anti-Semitic attacks, but I am not Jewish.
anti-Semitic attacks? You call an online comment an anti-Semitic attack? That's but then again, you have a good reason for being
According to recent research, the only reason most people are conservative is because of delusion. And that's why you have to be delusional right back.
So to be very clear, this delusional is the quintessential race traitor. She does not have a kind word to say about white people. She's a genocidal, Malthusian, evil, conniving bitch that seeks the destruction of all white people. I think the best option here is to deport her to a country where there are no white people to be found. I think Somalia is very nice this time of year. A place where they cut off the genitals off of women. Because that's exactly what she seeks to replace white people or white culture for. She's an advocate for the third world barbarian, so I think it's best that she familiarizes herself with her wannabe overlords. She needs to be treated like the white woman she is by the people she defends the most. Something tells me that she's not going to like it, and men in general, and white men specifically actually, have made her life way too easy for her to criticize them. Her life would cease to exist the moment that men stopped to subsidize her lifestyle. Everything was made possible in her life by the labor of men. From the electricity to the house she lives in, to the car she drives, to everything in her life that makes it so convenient. But yet, at every chance she gets, she attacks white people and men in general on devices created and maintained by white men. Yet does not recognize the irony in all of that. She's the quintessential unproductive person that society has no use for. I can continue on, but last time a man put her in her place, she developed some kind of partial paralysis on her face, and I'm afraid if I continue going, she might develop it again, and it might get even worse, so I think it's fair to leave it here. Crash Out Kylie strikes again. That's tough.
One of your legacy items has been freeing hostages all over the world. Israeli hostages, American hostages. American Dennis Coyle has been taken hostage by the Taliban for almost a year now. His family has been speaking out. Molly Long went on News Nation last week to ask for some more public attention to this case. What is your administration doing to get him home?
Well, if you give me the name.
Dennis Coyle.
Okay, you give me some information, I'll take care of that.
This is just moments ago. You hear those cheers. That's the pictures of Dennis Coyle, who has been held captive by the Taliban for about a year now. He's now back on U.S. soil, arriving moments ago there in San Antonio.
He literally said, hold my drink. He literally said, hold my drink. That makes you proud to be an American, proud to have this man as a president. I don't care, right? I don't care what the Democrats say, what liberals say, what leftists say. To save an American life, to save American lives is an amazing thing, okay? Plus one that, does he have to save? I mean, like, I don't know the story, so I don't know the story. I don't know why he got caught, but I mean, you give him a task, he's gonna do the best he can to accomplish it for America, for Americans. I love it. This is the thing where I think we don't give him enough credit. We don't see stuff like this, right? This right here is not pushed in mainstream media. This right here is not screamed to the rooftop to all Americans to see. Things like that, all Americans should have seen it. All Americans should have seen it. I'm sorry. All Americans should have seen that, you know what? He was told about the risk of an American life. He did his best in saving an American life. That every American should see that. This is why, I see more positive than negatives. He's not 100% perfect, but I see more positive than negatives when it comes to this president.
Would you guys vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028?
I vote for him because he got me released from coming home from a life sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so he didn't hold me back. He didn't hold me back. He signed off saying I'm fit for society. So yes, I would vote for Gavin Newsom.
What were you locked up for? If you don't mind me asking.
I was locked up for murder, carjacking, and robbery.
This is why I honestly don't understand why people vote Democrat. I don't understand why people are liberal. I think Democrats, liberals, the left are immoral people. I think they're immoral people because watch this one.
The Chicago situation continues to get worse and worse. Over the weekend, 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman was walking through the park near Loyola University where she was a freshman at when 25-year-old Jose Medina walked up to the group wearing all black with a mask and a firearm. Sheridan turned and ran. Jose squeezed the trigger, one round was fired, and it took Sheridan's life. Guess how much coverage this story got in the mainstream media on Monday night? 0 minutes. 0 minutes of airtime. And now, Democrats are blaming Sheridan for what happened.
All the time, right? And they go out here, they walk around. So the kids were out doing normal things people do in the neighborhood. And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But
that was Chicago Alderwoman Maria Haddon, and she said, well, maybe Sheridan walked up and startled him, as if that justifies anything. Same energy as, well, what was she wearing, by the way? This 18-year-old woman had her life abruptly ended by a man who broke into this country originally from Venezuela and had already been arrested for shoplifting, but since Chicago is a sanctuary city, nothing could be done. And yet, a lot of the people on the left who proclaim themselves to be feminists, those who care about protecting women and keeping women safe, are oddly quiet.
Look, I have videos of liberals, people on the left, calling black men the N-word. I have videos of, liberals, leftists, abusing women. This is the thing where, and I see this, right? I've seen like a Democrat judge or a liberal or Democrat jury either let these criminals out. We already saw the first one, right? Gavin Newsom, Democrat, very lenient on crime. We see crime is quite high in California. I've seen them, again, I've seen videos of these people who supposedly are for minorities, supposedly are for women. Yeah, I've seen them beat women. I've seen them be racist towards black people. I'm like, are these people that? Are these people actually as morally sound as you say, or are they just faking it for your vote? right? Or they're faking it for power, or they're faking it for the narrative. Okay, I'm not saying Republicans are better than Democrats. I'm saying that I'd rather pick the lesser of two evils, right? I'd rather pick the one where I know what type of people they are. Right? I know what type of people they are. Face to face, I know it. Rather than picking the people that I think that they're this type of people, but they will stab me in the back, show me actually who they are. So I'd rather pick people I know who they are, right? I know if they are, I know they're, type of people, they're about they're upfront. They're about, certain kind of morality, certain kind of viewpoint, certain kind of narratives. I know it upfront. They're not hiding it to me. Rather, being with someone that's hiding their motives and faking it, right? Faking it to garner my support. So that's how I view this. Is honestly, I'm seeing so much of this, like how many criminals have such a long rap sheet, yet they're out again committing heinous crimes. I see criminals who kill or whatever being let go in light sentences. Okay, so it's ridiculous.
This is breaking news. Iran publicly executed 3 people by hanging today, among them a 19-year-old member of the national wrestling team, Saleh Mohammadi. The first hangings Iran has carried out related to the nationwide demonstrations. Human rights groups say that they were executed without a fair trial and had given confessions under torture.
This is who the Democrats, the left, support. This is the type of regime. This is the type of people that they support. They constantly, scream out, we need to help Palestine. Yet, if we're helping a country they don't like, right? They say, no, we shouldn't be a part of this war. We shouldn't do nothing. Yet, this is a regime that is actively killing thousands of their own citizens, particularly many that are just protesting. And it's not just the offshoot that these protesters were trying to harm or impede federal agents, the processes, right? Federal agent actions. No. They were protesting and they were targeted to be killed. Okay, you don't hang somebody, right, just because it's like at the spur of the moment. No, that's a process. It's a process to try to tie a rope and shit like that. Okay, it's a process. So it's not like heat of the moment shit. It's not heat of the moment stuff. It is premeditated. But yet this is the regime. This is the people. This is the country, the nation that the left, that Democrats, that liberals support, just because they hate the regime, the presidency that they don't agree with yet. What do they not agree with when it comes to Trump? Because I'm not Trump's biggest fan, but it's like, seriously, I would not hate Trump so I could, by supporting people that, go against Trump, when those people are dangerous, are literally the people that you are trying to fight against. They're authoritarians. They are almost, they're fascists in a sense. They're dictatorship, right? Yet you support them while calling Trump the actual dictator and shit like that. That's the disconnect, right? That's why these people, the left, the Democrats, who say these words, right? You're fascist, you're Gestapos, all this shit. Yet they support Venezuela, they support Colombia, they support Iran, and not to realize that these countries that they support are literally examples of authoritarians, fascism, dictatorship. It's just the disconnect that is flabbergasting. Okay, this is why I believe 100% Democrats, liberals, the left, they hate America. Okay, they are ruining America.
Last week, Vivek Sharma went to the DMV to renew his trucking license, but he was denied. The problem? New rules surrounding the process. As he explains in Hindi, only green card holders and U.S. citizens can get their commercial driver's license renewed. Sharma's been in the U.S. legally for the past 10 years, seeking political asylum. His final court case is next year. He's been driving the truck for the past 8 years, but now he can't. अब क्या करेगा? When asked what comes next, he says he's worried. Trucking paid well. The sudden stop in income means he won't have money to send back to his family in India. Now he will have to start over. The U.S. Department of Transportation issued emergency rules that require the DMV to stop issuing commercial driver's licenses, or CDLs, to drivers who are not U.S. citizens or permanent residents. Even those with legal work visas, like Sharma, will be denied. It says it's doing so to improve traffic safety and close loopholes in the law.
Look, I'll say this, right? Him being an immigrant and send money to him, I get it. I'm not. He's not a bad person, right? And I think that's something that the people who don't understand why we have a gripe with illegal immigration and whatever immigration stuff like that. It's not that we complain about these are bad people, but we do say that it doesn't help America, or it's not how you go about it. Because here's the thing, right? 10 years and you have to explain in Hindi, not in English. You haven't assimilated, okay? And the bad thing is that trucking, it pays really well. You're taking up a spot that a born American should be taking up or could be taking up. Because I believe that plenty of people who don't go to college or fell out of college should be going into trades, should be going into jobs like this. Okay, they should be doing this. Americans should be having these jobs first. Okay, we should be pushing these jobs on Americans. Supposedly, oh, they don't. Oh, Americans. No, I think a lot of Americans don't even realize that there's all these kind of jobs that you could do. So that's my thing. That I'm not gripe that he's sending money wherever he wants it. He makes the money. He does what he wants with it. But the problem is that you've been here 10 years. Honestly, your English is probably non-existent or sucky, and you're taking up a job that a born American should do and should be pushed on Americans to do. Okay, we have plenty of people, right, on, let's say, government assistance. Well, we should be, those people should not be on government assistance, and they should be put to working these jobs and be productive citizens. He's a productive man. I'm not griping that. But one, we talk about illegal immigration, right? Illegal, because he's not a citizen. 10 years, he's still not a citizen. And it's weird that, why does India need asylum seekers? I thought that's only for, like, I don't know, war-torn countries or something like that. So I don't know, right? I thought it was weird. But again, these jobs should be, we have homeless people. We have people on government assistance. I'm sorry. These are the jobs that we should be training the less achieving to be doing, okay? That's why we have so many unproductive Americans. That's why we have so many Americans that are poor or on government assistance. Because being a truck driver, you could reach close to 6 figures, right? You could get close to 6 figures being a truck driver. So, yeah.
Of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. And being conscious of the fact that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see what we can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street, businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this. But we can fund what we want to fund.
This is the hypocrisy of the left, of Democrats, and reaping what you sow. Okay, you constantly want to attack the wealthy. Okay, I mean, fine. But then you don't realize the wealthy is the one who are paying for all the programs, majority of the programs, paying the biggest chunk for the programs that, benefit the poor and a bit of the lower middle class. And now you are clamoring, because you were saying they could leave, and now you're saying that you don't want them to leave. Okay, it's the hypocrisy. And maybe this is a less I don't know, talk about idea. I don't mind state competitions. I don't care about red states, blue states, whatever. If you elect a shitty mayor, governor, whatever, and they fail your state, that is on you. Okay, we have more power electing our state officials than we do, federal officials. So our state officials should 100% reflect us and benefit us. So if they don't, obviously we voted wrong. 100% it's on the people's fault. It's also on the people we elected's fault, right? So I believe in state competitions, right? They should be trying to garner the best, the brightest, of our citizens. So I'm saying, like, push the competition, right? We should be competing with each other. We should be the best. Each state should be trying to be the best they can be, right? And that's how I view it. So I don't mind. So I really don't mind that, they have to change policies or whatever so they can compete with each other, because that's how it should be. Because when you see that, you can see the hypocrisy. You can see that, you chose the wrong side, okay? And you know what, to be honest, it will show you that what side is benefit to you. So you're not just voting, you just vote blue just regardless of anything. No, you vote because they will benefit you 100%.
Hey, Don, I just want to straight up tell you this. Kill Donald Trump, his wife, and his kids. We ain't a part of it. He started this war with the Congress not even giving okay. Attack him. Him directly, like, aim for the White House or aim for Mar-a-Lago. Aim for anything that you know Trump about. Trump Towers, fuck it all up. Okay? Aim for everything, all his golf courses, aim for everything that could hurt his pocket, basically. Aim for him and his family. Make him live through the fact that his actions caused his wife and kids to die. That's what I'm saying. He won't get it unless he goes through it, but please don't attack us. I voted for Kamala. I didn't vote for this buffoon. We ain't want no part of it. A majority of us didn't vote for him. He admitted it numerous times that he cheated and rigged the elections to win. Kind of like Benjamin Netanyahu and his father. How they got that shit started. These Polish fuckers that changed their name to sound more Jewish. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, that's just it.
Mind you, right? She's not the only one that's doing this. She's not the only one that is pleading with a dictator, someone who is authoritarian, to kill our leader, right? Our president, the leader of our country. She's not the only Democrat leftist that is doing it. This is why I've said this before, and people can't prove me wrong, that Democrats, liberals, and the left hate America. Imagine this. Imagine you are pleading with another country to attack your own leader. Plus, it's funny. You call Trump a fascist, authoritarian, a dictator. Yet you are pleading with a dictator to do your dirty work. It's the hypocrisy I see. So you are against dictators, fascists, or are you okay with pretty much a authoritarian regime? Okay? You plead with a regime that pretty much gives women no rights, has killed thousands upon thousands of his citizens, right? To end protests, God forbid, right? Literally killing people so they can stop protesting. And wouldn't mind and have done, right? Killing people of the alphabet community. That's who you are. That's who you're trying to talk to. That's who you want to support. That's who you want to ask for help. But yet, the leader that you believe is actually a fascist or a dictator, you don't want. When honestly, a lot of these people cannot name an actual thing Trump is doing all that wrong, right? They constantly say the Epstein file, but yet he's actually not linked to anything, right? He's actually not convicted or prosecuted for anything because of the Epstein file. His name's on it, so what? So many people, other people are too. So that is not convicting of him. What else do they name? Okay, he's attacking, or he's pretty much going after other nations with dictators. I thought you hate dictators. I thought you hate fascism or authoritarian regimes. I thought so, but I guess not. Right? I guess not, because they also were trying to support Maduro. So it's like, this is the hypocrisy, okay? So it's like they need to hate this person so bad for whatever reason, probably because of democratic propaganda, okay? And again, to ask someone else to come and attack your president, do you not think that that's kind of hating your country? Because it's the leader of your, because you think that, what do you think will happen, okay? The chaos would happen if another nation went and attacked our president. Okay, that's not love. That's not love for your country, because you are bringing your country into chaos, right? But hey, of course, this is the party of what? Love and peace, right? This is the party of, like, I don't know, like high morality? No, this is the party of violence. Okay, so I saw this. I'm a Philly guy, right? A breakdown of Philly's new proposed about $7 billion budget. This is why I recommend people not to vote blue, right? Not to vote Democrats, vote Republican, because to be honest, this overtaxation is ridiculous, right? Highlights new tax on ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, investment in pothole squad, new tax on some deliveries, increased hotel taxes, additional city sales tax on online purchases. Is that for the rich? No. It's for everyone, right? The poor, the middle class. So Democrats are not about really taxing the rich. They're taxing everyone, right? So tax on ride-sharing services, 20 cents on Uber and Lyft will generate $9 million. Guess, yeah, people paying for that, right? Citizens are paying for that. Require everyone selling to Philly residents to charge an additional 2% tax. Great, generate more money for the city. Pothole squad, $7 million to launch one Philly pothole squad. Philly has been having like a problem with its infrastructure for years. Constant potholes, constant like terrible streets for years. It's like, I feel like we're just throwing money at the I don't know, the issue and never solving the problem. So I don't know if that's, it feels like we're just throwing more money. So I don't know if that's solving anything, but this is just more craziness. 2% increase on tax, on hotel stays, right? 2%, so it's gonna cost more. Will generate $2 million to help pay for the city's homelessness plan. Yeah, I've been hearing the city might be a little bit shady with their homeless plan, right? We'll see that soon, right? 25% tax per order on retail delivery. So I guess a retail tax on that. And retailers will have to pay for that tax. $25 million for a SEPTA zero fare program. So it's not zero, since taxpayers will have to pay for this shit, right? Tax, and they're not even, why not have like competition, right? Other, other shares, right? I also wanted to see how my city is like spending our money. Look at that, right? $2 million in unauthorized overtime across 8 city departments. Really? Excessive overtime costs. Total city overtime reached $300 million in 2025. It's like, I'm very weary if this whole increase in tax, are they going to slush fund it into their own pockets? right, into their own pockets by, you know, labeling it as overtime, right? Because we're paying for these people's paychecks. So another really dubious spending of our money, which like this is the problem I'm seeing, how they're misusing our funds, misusing our money. That 300 million could have paid for the SEPTA thing, zero fare, right? That 300 million could have paid for, I don't know, the pothole thing, the pothole squad that our mayor or governor or whatever wants to implement. Really is ridiculous. Now here's the homeless thing that I'm dubious about. Controller is currently reviewing special exemptions contracts after an investigation found the Office of Homeless Services overspent its budget by carrying payments into the future years. Audits identify instances where departments fail to accurately record the full cost of contracts, risking spending beyond their legal limits. And then she's budgeting more for this homeless service. Are we really solving the homelessness problem in our state, in our city? I questioned it. And as you can read, right, our education department, right, the school district, they're like, while the school district faces massive costs due to federal criminal charges regarding asbestos, guess who's paying for that? Guess who pays for the criminal charges? Your taxes. So I'm very weary of our city, how they're handling our money. They want to tax us more, and they're mishandling our money. You know, Philly has been a blue city for such a long time, and what has it gotten us? How has our city been better? We are being taxed more and more every year, and yet I don't know if our tax money is doing us that much good. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. The tax for, you know, helping with violence, right? Violence prevention is doing well, right? At least it seems like it's doing well, because crime or violence has decreased over years. Okay, right? I'm not trying to be biased like that, but it's like, I don't know if this constant every year increase in taxes is really benefiting our city to that level of degree, right? Particularly for certain programs that I don't know, right? The whole SEPTA thing is like, we're constantly, there's always it's I think a private company, yet the city has to pay for it. Why don't we have competitions for these companies to, you know, I don't know, I think we could do better. I mean, I'm not saying I have the answers, it's just that maybe voting differently would have been better.
He has spent $15 million in 1 month for ribeye steaks, $6.9 million for lobster tail, $225 million for furniture. He spent more in the month of September than most countries on earth spend in their defense.
Well, do you believe
all for himself? Lobster tails?
Do you believe
while our troops are eating MREs?
No. Do you believe the Secretary of Defense is personally eating all the lobster?
Wait, he can't eat
the
16
troops.
Oh, really? The troops are getting lobster
frequently.
Brothers, get back. That steak and lobster. How's your steak and lobster? All right, damn near decent. How's yours? I'm ready for war. We're going to war.
Oh my God! Troops who are going to war.
Oh my God!
Great meal. You know that.
They're getting lobster. You are so
You're going to get killed over this. You're going to get killed over this. Internet, do something.
I might have to double it. I had to run it back.
You know, that's just another example of why I personally believe that Democrats and liberals hate America, right? They hate America. They are the worst part of America, in my opinion. Okay, so instead of being critical of, let's say, fraud in the government, misspending in the government, I don't know, corruption in the government, you want to attack people in our own government just because you want to attack them, because they're part of Trump's cabinet, right? It is an obvious thing that we usually spend money on our soldiers when they are about to go to battle, right? We spend money on our soldiers. He didn't spend money on himself. The money wasn't a slush fund, right? The money wasn't laundered into his personal account. Right? It was spent on the soldiers, right? The people that we should respect and support. But because they hate Trump, the Democrats and liberals hate Trump, they will do whatever they can to make Trump and his administration look bad. So imagine people, Americans, right? These so-called Americans, doing whatever they can to make their own government, to make their own country look bad. Okay? Whether it's true or not. That's the insanity that I see. That's the insanity that I can't understand. You would think that, fine, if you want to be critical of your government, critical of the administration, okay, but make it make sense, right? If the government, if the administration was corrupt and actually, like, let's say, mishandling the money, okay, misappropriating the money, I don't know, fraud in places, corruption in places, okay, how about do that? But no, you want to find a story that we're spending money on our soldiers. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing. Like lobster and steak. Oh my God, we're feeding our soldiers. Ain't that crazy? But you can't see the insanity that you are literally just wanting to make our government look bad for whatever, because you hate Trump. And you don't see how, in my view, right, because it's stupid, right, stupid attacks, it shows you that you hate America because you want America to look bad, no matter what. Right? You want your leader of your country to look bad, okay? Purposely, right? Idiotically. Because again, This ain't Nixon, right? It ain't like Bill Clinton scandal. It's not a scandal. Right? It's not a. It's like the same thing with the Epstein shit, right? The man was mentioned, and they would do everything they can to make it seem like he is a predator, right? They still haven't proved a thing about him, but they constantly say, "Oh, because he's mentioned, he's a predator." He's like, "Well, then prove it." I'm just like, you would think that, you know what? As Americans, we want our president, no matter who it is, to succeed in bettering America, right? Succeed in his actions that would, in turn, hopefully make America better. But no, every step of the way, they will impede his actions, but in a way that don't make sense. You're not helping Americans. You're just trying to hurt Trump because you hate him.
Cuba is dying, and now that Venezuela's oil is controlled by the U.S., their 65-year plan to systemically starve and weaken Cuba is coming to a climax. And if you are a Cuban American cheering because the evil Cuban dictatorship is being overthrown, then fuck you. Is it worth starving 11 million people? Sorry, let me put this in perspective. Is it worth causing a man-made famine, a water shortage, and a major health crisis, and potentially killing millions, all to overthrow a government which liberated its people from slave society under Batista, and a people who have been poor for decades, but directly because of U.S. interference and sanctions? And not only are they taxing countries that choose to trade with Cuba and invading their largest trade partners, but they are actively blocking humanitarian aid from entering. 9 ships have been blocked so far.
Of course, leave it to an American that has never set one single foot in Cuba to take it upon himself and educate you as to on whose side should you be on. The level of ignorance that this video shows is immense, and yet, if you go read the comments, there are many people who actually believe the United States is the causer of Cuban suffering. And what infuriates me even more is that all of these creators that are making videos supporting Cuba, but in reality are supporting the dictator, they've never made a video about Cuba before. Cuba is trending now, and now all of a sudden that America is involved, all of a sudden the Cubans are suffering. They've been suffering for the past 60 years because of communism. Nobody seemed to care. Now, because it's trendy that America is the bad guy, so you go and support pretty much whoever America is fighting, but that keeps on landing you on the side of the oppressor. That keeps on landing you on the side of the dictators. You did it with Venezuela, you did it with Cuba, and you're doing it with Iran. I give you the most clear and recent proof that Cuba's suffering has nothing to do with the embargo and everything to do with an oppressive government. Right now, in the middle of all of Cuba's suffering, the Mexican government sent to Cuba 2 boats of humanitarian help. Guess what the Cuban government decided to do with it? Military stores that were empty before are now being filled with products made in Mexico and are being sold to the Cuban people in dollars. Keep in mind that the Cuban people don't get paid in dollars. They only get paid in the Cuban currency, meaning that the Cuban people cannot buy one single product with what the government pays them. They have to depend on help from the United States. That's what the government does with humanitarian help. The embargo, it's only hindering the government from getting even richer. Because whatever prohibitions the embargo would do on the Cuban people, we don't see them. Because the prohibition imposed on us by the Cuban government has us living at this level. Cuba has thousands upon thousands of miles of fertile lands. We should have coffee. Yet Cubans have to blend coffee beans with lentils so they can make more coffee out of it. We should have sugar because Cuba is a high producer of sugar. Yet we don't. We should have sugar canes. We should have tobacco. Yet Cuba has nothing. U.S. embargo directly affects the government, not the people. Not one single bit. You really care about the Cuban people? Be on my side. Be on that Cuban that became on American side. Because I have consequential knowledge. I actually know what it's like living in Cuba. I am the closest you'll ever be to the truth. Please help me share this video. All this misinformation continues to paint America as the bad guy, when in reality, they are really saving us.
I do want to say, was it Colin Kaepernick, who was pretty much the first one who popularized the whole kneeing thing, is still, he's begging to be back in the NFL. Okay, so I want to say that, and this is a problem I find where, I'm not saying that and I have a video that has shown like black people being like stout Americans, but in general, right, the consensus or just the ugly public image is that a lot of black Americans are so un-American, right? They're so un-American, yet they desire to supposedly protest against America in ridiculous ways, right? You're not voting in a way that helps America. You're not, I don't know, doing things that actually changes America, but you have a lot to say. Okay, now it is what it is, but I always want to say that was honestly disgusting, un-American, and this is the result. you know, as kids, maybe being political isn't the way to go, right? Because you're so underdeveloped, you really don't understand what's happening. Focusing on you know, your life right there is more important. This is the thing. I just find it funny because I seen the, you know, a little while ago, right? I mean, you know, weeks ago, where, you know, you see kids walking out of school for protesting ICE. When, in all honesty, there are studies, there are statistics that we have a growing population of children being illiterate, having low IQ, being honestly stupid, and you can see. Okay? So, you know, instead of focusing on education that will better your life, particularly as minorities, education should be your #1 priority. You want to focus on politics that you understand zero things about. That's the thing where it's poor parenting, poor teaching. Okay? You are not guiding these kids correctly. And I 100% blame these parents and these teachers, these administrators. You are not guiding these children correctly. Instead of focusing on their education, which would actually benefit and be more substantial in their life, you are contributing to their indoctrination. And it's like, it's not benefiting them. This shit like this is like, honestly, this is the thing where it's such a bad image on the black community. And this is why I said, right? It's not racism. That's, you know, the biggest problem with the black community. It's not even the top 5, in my opinion. Hell, maybe not even the top 10. It is ideology. Ideology is one of the bad parts of the black community. It really is. This is disgusting.
I want you all to meet Shelly. She is a liberal who decided to leave this picture under my comments because I am a conservative, and I just wanted to tell Shelly and use her. Actually, I just want to talk to everyone, not just Shelly.
I wanted to show that video, right? Just a snippet of that video to show why I think being a Democrat is stupid, okay? Because it's filled with hypocrisies. Being a Democrat is filled with hypocrisies. You speak out about racism, yet you are racist. You speak out against sexism, yet you are sexist. You speak out against caring about Americans, yet you don't care about Americans, okay? Why did I say all that stuff? Okay, and that's the hypocrisy, but why did I say all that stuff? Because one, I have videos, video proof of Democrats, liberals, being racist, saying the N-word to black people. I have videos of Democrats, liberals, leftists, attacking women, right? Attacking women, pretty much not caring about women. I have a video of, you know, liberals, you know, attacking a female reporter, black Democrat judges, you know, lightning sentences of criminals who've done crime against women. And we have videos of, you know, Democrats crying about the death of Americans by ICE, yet no peep about Americans dying by the hands of immigrants, illegal immigrants, right? Not a peep. It's the hypocrisy, okay? It is the hypocrisy. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face, okay? Republicans, the right, they're not better. They're no better, okay? But what makes it where I would, and I believe I'm like center, but center right. Why I would even side with the right is that at least they're not full-blown hypocrites. You know, they're not out here, you know, claiming that they're not racist or that they are for minorities. They're not out here claiming that they're for women or, you know, they're not sexist. No, they're not claiming that they are or they're not, right? They're not trying to claim a more high ground. Democrats are. The left are, right? They constantly say that they're for women. They're for minorities. They constantly say that shit. Yet they constantly prove otherwise, right? So how I view it is that, you know what? For a Republican, for the right, if they're going to stab you, they'll stab you face to face. While Democrats, they will stab you, right? They will hug you. They'll try to think, oh, you know, you're a woman, you know, you're a minority. I'm like, let me, my brother, you know, hug you, and then stab you in the back. That's the insanity of it, right? And it's just like the denial of the hypocrisy is quite tiring. And I want to say my piece where I've been there, where, you know, I've had the left, Democrats, say that you should be deported, right? You're next. Say racist things towards me. Say you deserve to die. You will be deported, right? Or I wish you were deported, right? I wish you were deported. I wish you and your family were deported. So one, you can say racist things towards me, yet you support what minorities. You hate deportation, yet you wish I'm deported. It's the hypocrisy. It's tiring.
The eyes to the right, 111. The nose to the left, 364.
The ayes to the right were 111,
The noes to the left, 364. So the noes have it. The noes have it. Unlock. The question is that the bill be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. Division.
Having lived in the UK for a couple of years, and you know, I have kids in the UK. It is sad and disgusting to see the downfall of it. Maybe controversially, but bring back just white men in charge. I'm sorry. If this is the results of equality, you know, women having a say in society, minorities having a say in society, yeah, it's not worth it. This is my problem. Okay, you would think that, let's say, being more diverse, you would say being more inclusive, giving more equality, right? More women in power, more minorities in power, society would be better. It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. America, it's gotten worse. The UK, it's gotten worse. Pretty much any white nation that has embraced diversity, embraced equality of sexes, it hasn't really gotten better for, you know, for their society. It hasn't. Okay, not by it's either stagnant or gotten worse. I would say that, you know what, the experiment has failed, or it doesn't look like it's succeeding. I said this before. I mean, like, I'm not saying that, oh, don't, even saying that, you know, the US, the UK saying that it should be, you know, predominantly white men in charge, doesn't mean that there should be zero, right, immigration, zero diversity, zero whatever. No, but I don't know, including the liberals, right, these liberal women's, liberal minorities, it has been a detriment. It has been a detriment to society, right? You want to be, oh, I don't want to be some racist to Muslims. I don't want to be sexist to this. I don't want to be homophobic to that. I don't want to be... F that shit. You broke the law. You deserve punishment. Right? You are unruly. You don't assimilate. You are anarchists. You are trying to destroy society. We are going to punish you. And we're going to punish you to extremes. We're going to make it so no one wants to do crime. But no. Let's treat you with kid gloves. The model of women and woke minorities. Yeah. Just go back to old ways. I'm sorry, because this is not doing well.
What is the best country in the world?
What is the what?
What is the best country in the world?
Mexico, definitely for sure Mexico.
Mexico?
Mexico.
So why do you think these people don't want to go back?
I think it's because we sacrifice a lot to be here, and we all want people to come in the right way as well, but things are better over here in America, and they're gonna try their best to be here.
But you just said Mexico is the best country in the world.
It is, but I think that
I love the hypocrisy, okay? It never makes sense to me that a country you don't deem as the best, right, you want to immigrate to, okay? A country that doesn't give you the opportunity, because this is, people always say, right, oh, my country of origin is the best country ever. I wave their flags and stuff, but you know what? We're only here because America gives opportunities. So the country you deem as the best country in the world, that you love, that you're proud of, that you wave their effing flags with, from, it doesn't give you opportunities, yet you deem that as better than the country that gives you the opportunity. The sheer stupidity in that. This is the thing where I've always said this. American born, I love America, right? Even if I'm Asian, even if I'm Vietnamese, it's America first. I love America. Because America has given me the life that I have. It's given me the opportunities that I have. No other country has. So I don't have loyalty, love, or respect for any country that didn't give me the life that I'm living, okay? So why? I mean, like, I'm not saying that I'm not proud to be, Vietnamese or, whatnot, but that proudness comes secondary to being a proud American. Because America is the best country in the world. Whether, statistics, studies or not, it's the best country in the world to me. Because it's given me the opportunities that I have. Okay? It's given me the life that I have. And I respect it and I love it. The sheer stupidity in that. Mexico is the best, but you know what? I wouldn't want to live there. I wouldn't want to stay there. I wouldn't want to immigrate back to there. No. I'd rather be in America. That's giving me the life that it's given me. It's giving me the freedoms that it's given me. And it's going to give me the future that hopefully I can get. Not Mexico. I mean, like, these people who love the country so bad doesn't want to go back to the country and improve that country. Right? Make that country better. No. They don't give a shit about that country. That's why they left. That country didn't give a shit about you, and you don't give a shit about that country. That's why you left. Okay? It would have made more sense if you loved that country so much. Mexico is so amazing. You would have stayed there, tried your best to make it better, try your best to, improve that country, to be a lawful citizen, to be a good citizen of that country, to enjoy the life that that country gives you. You don't want the life that that country gives you. The sheer delusion and hypocrisy. This is why I've always find it disgusting that people burn the American flag, wave the flags of other countries, call so many other countries better than America, yet none of them would leave America for said countries. Hell, the people who left America goes to another predominantly white country. And you think that, what? Because that country's liberal, it's supposedly something better? No. Where do they go to? Nordic countries, predominantly white. Even if it's liberal, okay? Canada, predominantly white. All these other countries are predominantly white, and you think it's better because the leadership is liberal. Absolutely stupid.